Hi, it is Melissa Fisher, and today's topic is going to be shift left. So, we are going to describe what shift left means, explain why shift left matters, and then influence others to shift left. So, what is shift left? Shift left is the practice of moving testing activity early in the development process, often before any code is written. So, why does shift left even matter? Why are people still talking about it? Because it really does matter to the business in terms of cost and efficiencies. So there was a study by IBM done quite a while ago now that found that it costs more money to find defects later on. So I found this really good graph and blog post on this. And as you can see, if you could think about the conception as like requirements, the idea, and then if you found a bug in there, you can see the cost is relatively low. But as you're going up, into the design phase, the development phase after the code has been written, and then on to releasing into production, it costs more over time. So the example that they gave in this blog was maybe it costs £1 to find a defect here, but then after the code has been written, maybe £10, and then when you release it to production, maybe it's 100. So just bear in mind these are theoretical numbers, but it just gives you an idea about why it's so important to uh, shift left and do things a lot earlier. So what you could do is to really show this is calculate the cost of where you're currently at. So you could have a look at all of the bugs and where you're finding them and associate a cost to it. So if you're finding stuff in the requirements and that and design phase, maybe that would be £1, fixed after code is written £10, and fixed after release is 100. So I've just put an example that perhaps it's only 5 defects after release, so it's kind of £500 that is being cost to the business. And then what you could do is like an experiment to shift left and get involved much earlier, track your issues, and maybe now it's 1 defect per release. So then you can say 1 defect per release, that's £100. So overall, I saved, £400 from doing that. So this is a way you could bring a number to it, and yeah, please like kind of adapt this to suit your needs. This is just an idea to share with you. What also I'd like to quickly talk about is the 7 wastes. This is really a manufacturing, well, it's related to lean manufacturing and 7 wastes of manufacturing. And muda is the Japanese word for waste. And as you can see, there's lots of different types. So there's overproduction, like producing too much, inventory, that could be your stock, waiting around for stuff, motion, like unnecessary movement of people, parts, or machines, transportation, rework, over processing. So what I really want to just focus on is two really, is the waiting and the rework. So perhaps, for example, that you are waiting round for requirements before that you can test. That is costing the business money. So you can think about, I'm currently waiting this amount of time. I want to reduce that so that it saves the business money. Or perhaps it's kind of like rework. So you're finding bugs in, production, but actually you want to find them much earlier, or even you want to prevent those bugs in the first place by having clear requirements, you all understand the design. So, yeah, I think it's really important to understand these types of things. And just to go on to the final part of this short 5-minute video is how to influence others in terms of shifting left. So there's a couple of examples that I've got here is to tell a story of the cost of a defect over time. So you can share that graph with your team. And secondly, you could talk about saving time on rework and increased efficiencies. And then lastly, perhaps talking about inclusive practices, like including everyone with the information they need at the same time. This one has really worked for me, talking about inclusive practices. It's really helped me get involved in meetings earlier and so on. So, yeah, thank you for listening. This is a very short video. Please let me know of any other topics that I could cover.